Hello, I'm APX and welcome back to the video. Today I have something rather interesting to talk about and share with you all because it is going to be a way to get outside of your nether or just to see giant holes in the side of your nether if you're playing in survival. But if you're in creative, you can literally fly outside the nether, you can see underneath it, and you can do some pretty bizarre stuff that isn't meant to be possible because it was meant to be patched, but it showed up again in a most recent Minecraft console update in a really different way that I think is kind of fun to do and that you might enjoy exploring, because hopefully you do all enjoy this video where we're going to be doing exactly that. You can like it if you do like it because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like this sort of video. But with that said, let's get straight into the first step of any step-by-step guide on how to get out of your nether, which is going to your nether. I know everyone forgets this step, but you need to have a nether portal. I recommend having it somewhere near the edge of your world, the south or the west edges, so very, very bottom, or the very, very edge over there. And the reason for that is because this glitch only works on two sides of the nether because of some weird, world boundary stuff. Let's just not question that for now. Just go to the south of your world and try and find, either by nether portal or by walking down the nether, whichever way gets you there, and then try and find this giant wall of bedrock at the edge of your world. So as you can see, somehow we found it literally right there. I don't know how it's like slightly different. It's right there basically. That's a little bit rare to find it right at the edge, but still, we got lucky. And as you can see, there's this giant bedrock wall. This bedrock wall, there's a few bits of bedrock, kind of like the overworld, and then eventually you'll find this very, very last layer you cannot break. And you might think, Toycat, why are you telling me this glitch if you cannot break this last layer of lead bedrock? Well, you can probably work out there's actually a way past that layer, and it involves doing a little bit of searching. So I actually got lucky the first time, I found this, because I just found this by accident when I found there was some netherrack blocks at the very, very edge. But basically, you need to find a place in the world where accidentally the world has generated, where instead of having, these blocks right here, again, all of these, bedrock blocks, instead there'll be a few bits where soul sand or nether quartz or netherrack will generate there instead. So the best, chances you have are really, really high up. As you can see, I've found some already, but it's only 2 blocks. So we're going to dig around to the left and the right until we find, okay, well, actually, this is a good example, until you find a lot more blocks looking something like this. And then what you want to do as soon as you've done that is you need to have some form of explosive. So because we're in creative, we can use beds. If you're in survival, I recommend TNT or something you can run away from. And what you want to do is you want to place this right next to the edge of the world. You want to place it there, and then you can blow it up. And when you do this, obviously what you're going to do is you're going to create a literal hole in the side of the world. So these holes in the side of the world seem to be based on the seed in some way. Again, they generate more higher up, and they generate in bizarre patterns, but it seems to be that the seed will determine how this works. So if you don't have any on your current seed, you could try another one. But, every seed has some, but if you haven't found any yet, keep on trying to do that, because there always are going to be some. And as you can see, here's another one right here. This one's much bigger, and it's a little bit more desirable, but actually it's not going to be flat areas, except right here. So we're going to use, what we're going to do now is, now we've got this sorted, we want to use the boat glitch that used to exist in Minecraft console, and now only exists in the nether. There's a hard barrier at the edge of the overworld, but because the nether has this big bedrock wall, they assumed why would we even need to do that, but because we've got this little glitch right here, we can now use this boat, and if we position ourselves just right, and we do this just perfectly, which is a big, precondition, but we should be able to, okay, so here's not, there we go, place one over here, kind of move it to the left, and what you want to do now is kind of get in the boat and have your left side facing the edge of the world. Again, this works for the south of the world, I believe. I think it changes based on your direction, but you want to try and just angle yourself around over and over again until you can edge yourself outside the world. Again, it's a little bit tricky because, there's this big invisible wall that's to stop the boats from being able to do this, but if you just angle yourself just perfectly and get some of the boat outside of there. Okay, so we messed that one up again. You can actually get this done just right. So I'm going to try it one more time right here. It's a kind of a tricky thing because you need to get the angle. It's just a perfect thing. So we'll try over here. In fact, 2 boats are better than one. Let's give this a second try just over here. So we'll place our boat down just over there, kind of rotate it to the edge, and we've got a bit more space here, so we can end up doing stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to go just like this, and okay, we end up in bedrock. So now we'll try the other way, just in case somehow that's going to be better, because you just want to keep on positioning and rotating over and over again. The game really doesn't want you to get out. It will explicitly try to stop you, but you just want to keep on doing this until you can get your way out there. So I'm stuck inside some bedrock right now. It's okay, there we go now. Okay, well, I guess we're above the world, so we can then from here use our boat, get out at the exact same place, just to show you it is possible. That's how it should work. You want to be slightly over the edge, but only with a tiny bit of your boat. For some reason I was having issues over here, but let's try that one more time so you can see it for certain. Again, you want to get a little bit of your boat over the edge, and then it will kind of push you over just like that. So once you've done this, you are now outside of your world in creative. If you're in survival, you can't do this. If you're in survival, please don't try and hop outside the edge, because what will happen is you'll fall down, and if you don't have invincibility, which you don't because you're a survival player, what's going to happen is you're going to fall, you're going to lose all your stuff, and there's no way to get stuff if you lose it into the void. So yeah, that's what happens if you try to fall down like that. But if you are in creative, you can now explore, at least until you go outside the edge, to the very edge edges of the world, just like this. There's lots of invisible barriers, I should say, around the edge of the world. As you can see, there's one over there. There's one kind of on the ceiling here, if I'm not mistaken, and there's also one on the floor. There's some very bizarre barriers. However, if you go that way, there is no barrier. But once you go past this way a certain distance, you cannot come back. Just keep that in mind. So anyway, the next thing you need to keep in mind is you can use this to look for other holes in the wall. If you want to use these for particular places, then if you go down, for instance, you'll find every now and then a patch of like, like just lots. Oh, okay, I went outside the edge by accident. You'll find lots of netherrack, or you find some magma blocks, or you find something like that at a much lower level that doesn't require you going all the way to the top of the nether. So that's something worth keeping in mind. And yeah, from here you can mostly just see what's. Oh, there's a little bit of quartz, just a single block. But as you can see, this is how the glitch works. This is where they mostly concentrate, and it's a bizarre little thing, but it's a thing you can do. So now you're outside the map. There's a few things you might find interesting. First of all, there's obviously the big ceiling on top of the world. So this is just a bizarre way to keep you in if you've been in. So yeah, that's something worth keeping in mind. But also what you can do with this is you can actually. Another fun fact, by the way, just before we leave this one behind, is the fact that there's this bit invisible barrier we're standing on right now. Something is keeping us in the air, but if you crouch, you actually can't move at all because it all it all counts as the edge of a block. So you're literally stuck here if you crouch. So don't crouch. I mean, not that you'd really want to, but don't do it anyway. It's dangerous and stuff. And also your ender pearls won't work. All the physics up here just do not work at all. So we tried to fire like a bow and some arrows, for instance. What's going to happen is the bow is just going to literally nothing's going to happen because the arrows just they do not exist. No entities can exist outside this bubble. But also what we can do with this is we can go below the world. So the lower down you go, the more the red fades slowly into black until suddenly the world just looks like this. But the interesting thing about the bottom of the nether as opposed to the we can't do this. The bottom of the nether as opposed to the bottom of the overworld is the fact that you can actually see underneath it. The bedrock layer for some reason doesn't, counts as transparent, like we're the same block as that. So we can actually see underneath the nether and we can see all the crazy secrets. So do we want to see our own nether portal from before? Guess what? We can go back and we can probably see that. I mean, I'm not sure where it would be because this is a confusing map. But, we can actually see all the stuff from below. Do you want to see the caves that are found? Do you want to see places where you can find lots of easy nether quartz? Guess what? You can actually see from underneath the map where all that stuff is found. So it's a good way to kind of get a survey of your nether from underneath. I don't know. There's a few situations where you want that, but not too many. Oh, there we go. There's our nether fortress. As you can see, it's a wonderful one. It's a really big one, in fact. It's not very often you get to see a nether fortress from this angle, but today we did, and that's kind of great. So, yeah, you can also use this, of course, as well as just being able to. So you can see outside the map. You can see where the nether holes are, but you can also, actually see like the really interesting thing, which is the fact that these nether holes only exist in two sides of the nether, and this is to do with an overworld glitch, which is also existed about the same time, where you can't actually the last block of your overworld, but only in the north and east directions have now been cut off, and this also seems to apply to how the nether generation works. I have no idea how or why, but for some reason this side of the nether, the north side, is just entirely clean. There is just nothing going on here. It's a purely clean bedrock. The only directions where something weird has happened are the west and the south sides. Why that is some weird rule they must have put in place by accident in a recent update, but just in case you're watching 4J, there's a glitch, but it only applies to two sides of the nether, so that means it's only half a glitch rate, and therefore you don't have to patch it if you don't want to, because I really enjoy being able to see outside my nether, and hopefully all of you did too. So if you did enjoy the video, you can like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel, and lets know you do like this sort of video. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.